They continue to be arrogant and petulant. They continue to peddle snake oil advice. They continue to recommend people dump large sums of money into completely unvetted programs and projects. It is what it is. I hope the audience is wise up and realize that maybe their advice has been horrifically bad.
Hey guys, welcome back to Library of Wealth. Today we have Cardano co-founder Charles Hoskinson giving us his thoughts about the recent crash in the crypto market and where we're headed next. He'll talk about the recent collapse of FTX, as well as the warning signs and the investment strategy that caused the massive platform to derail. Hoskinson reminds us that there are no guarantees in crypto, however the major players like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano are still intact. A significant amount of inexperience also led to many of FTX's internal problems. Charles believes that the crypto market as a whole will be affected, but reminds everyone that regulation would not have prevented this collapse. Let's listen as Hoskinson gives us his reaction to the current state of the crypto market and what we can expect in the next few months. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content we do here on this channel. Let's get right into the video.
More projects continue to get funding without really that much due diligence. And it's very clear that VCs continue to be quite interested in getting involved in these things. I believe one of the investors in FTX was Sequoia. It was supposed to be one of the smartest and best put together VCs in the entire business. And they took a significant loss from their time at FTX. Celebrities have been impacted as well. Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen, for example, had a considerable amount of money in FTX, as did others, who will undoubtedly now become quite disenfranchised and potentially leverage their considerable networks to attack and criticize the industry. At what point does the industry stand up and say, we've had enough, things need to change, and we need to think of a new path forward? For our part, the mission is unchanged, the approach is unchanged, because this is what we think everybody should be doing. I hope people begin to wise up. I also hope that people understand that nothing is for free in life. You cannot get massive returns and massive yields. They have to come from somebody. Not too long ago, last year, I criticized the big surge of Doge. Not because I had anything against the founders of that project or the people participating in it, but because it so perfectly epitomized the attitude of get rich quick. Every single person I knew who was purchasing that currency was doing so because they had a mistaken belief that they could double, triple, quadruple their money in a matter of days, weeks, or months. And the vast majority of them lost it. That is a mentality which will end the cryptocurrency space if it's preserved and maintained.
Charles goes on to say that unfortunately, the consequence of having people who don't know what they're doing that get into positions of power and trust creates a cascade of catastrophic damage. He also discusses the financial relationships that FTX had that could create a trail of insolvencies. Unlike regulated banks, crypto doesn't get a bailout from the government, they're left with the financial outcome and blame that's left behind.
The fact that this really is an industry that can fundamentally transform and change things. There is no other way. The problem is that many people in this industry seem pathologically addicted to taking advantage of people's trust in a better future or desire for a better future in exchange for a quick exit. And FTX is just yet another example of that. I've heard unconfirmed rumors that they use client funds for their ventures, which is no better than what Bernie Madoff did. We will see as the forensic accountants and government investigations begin tearing apart the legacy of that organization. We'll get a better understanding very quickly about how bad it was and what they did. This should prove the need for cryptocurrencies. We don't need more leaders. We don't need more companies. We don't need better regulation. We need to change the way the game works, because human beings at the end of the rainbow are terrible in positions of trust at being able to maintain virtue. No matter who they are, eventually, somehow, some way, through some mechanism, whether it be money, ideological concerns, some sort of blackmail or compromise, or just their own ego, they will in some way, some form, become an agent for bad instead of good. Thus, we must put our faith in things that cannot change. Being a very wealthy man myself, I can assure you that if you ever do get to some mystical wealth that you seek, it actually will not materially change your happiness. It will not make your life that much better. There will be a short-term jubilation, but then there'll be a hedonic amnesia where all those good feelings fade away and you still realize that you're starved for meaning and purpose in life. The truth of the matter is that people matter. Relationships matter, friends matter, family matter, and ultimately ideas matter. How we treat each other matter. This world is falling apart. It's led by unsustainable practices, corrupt and broken institutions. It's led by people who shouldn't lead us. And it's reinforced again and again with cynicism. And you're convinced to go along with it because you have a mistaken belief that if you just get a little bit more money, it'll all go away and get better for you. Not realizing that that's actually a lie. It doesn't change. The frustrations are exactly the same. Just ask the billionaires in China who offended Xi. So when we look to the future, the power of cryptocurrencies is the first time in any of our lives we've actually had the ability to make a difference. We can get rid of presidents and CEOs. We can own a little bit of everything, and we can all prosper together. I don't want to see that dream fade because the avarice of the few somehow derailed it, and it put us into a very dystopian viewpoint. The next 6 months to 9 months are going to be pretty critical for this industry, for all of us. Anytime there's a crisis, an event, something bad that happens, it's an opportunity for all of us to return to first principles, or it's an opportunity for us just to simply throw up our hands, become cynical, and give up. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to return to first principles because that's where I live and I'm most comfortable with. There is no way that we can ever get to a point where every person is banked. Every person has an identity that they own themselves and has the ability to seamlessly move between one financial system and another without blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies. And you cannot separate the two. If you have blockchains without cryptocurrencies, you have companies. Big multinational companies like the Microsofts and Apples and Googles and transnational bodies like the BIS. I didn't sign up to build Apple's next product line. They can do that themselves. I signed up to build protocols that give everybody freedom and liberty. To remove the token from blockchain technology is to just functionally hand those who already have the means to continue to have, as opposed to doing something different. Protocol economies, resource-based economies, this idea of combining both of them together give everybody freedom, if it's done correctly.
Hoskinson says that self-custody is not the only solution, and that people should have the right to choose what philosophy to have and to allow others to do things differently. He's also concerned about the concept of decentralization and would like to create an index, which he hopes will be used in a way that people can demonstrate that their ecosystem has attained definite milestones. Charles is also of the opinion that there needs to be a Consumer Protection Bill of Rights to communicate the ground rules of cryptocurrency to be sure that everyone is protected. What do you think about Charles Hoskinson's view on the landscape of the crypto market right now? Comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Library of Wealth. We'll see you in the next video.